All right, I have solved a lot of problems here. First of all, I definitely needed to set calculate total to be 0 to start because it then iterates through the array, gets the prices, and adds them together. So that's issue 1. I was also using equals plus because, again, I wasn't reading my own notes. So then my calculate total works. The problem is that when you add something to the cart, it says this dot cart items push, it pushes it to the cart, and then it goes ahead and it adds the product name. So I'm using plus equals here to concatenate the product name, and then I have it run the total. But of course, the total, and then when I add a second item, it adds the whole thing again, including the total. So we have to rethink how we're doing this. This was actually a really interesting exercise on my part because I was sure I had it down as I was going into this. And then I was executing it, I found that I was wrong. So we have to rethink. It's about the iterate. We have to iterate again in our add to cart. So in order to generate the text that goes into the cart, we have to iterate through everything. So what we need to do is once we have pushed items, the cart items, we now need to iterate through the cart items, and we need to get the text. So what I'm able, it's actually the same as when I calculate the total, which is kind of crazy. So when I add to the cart, I am going to do the exact same thing. I copied my text, and I'm going to say that our inner HTML is going to be we're not going to equal this, but we're going to equal cart items I dot, sorry about that, dot product name. And we're also going to set right here the inner HTML of this to be nothing. Okay? And at the very end, we're going to add the total. I might even do an emphasis because that sounds like a lot of fun, just to make it bold. Which I think this is bold, so it's actually going to end up being italics, but we'll see. It'll look different. So now when I run it, it's undefined, but our price is right. So let's figure out why that just was undefined. It's this dot cart items I. It's not product name, it's name. See? Demo product 2, total 4. Not know why that keeps moving. All right. So that's the fix. That's how we get it to work. What I would like to do now is stop this video. I know these are short. It was like a really long video and then like short, hey, I kind of think I fixed it. And then this one, which we definitely fixed it with. Next, I'd like to jump into how we can get these add items to do this same kind of thing as we go. Just a little note, like this is me really working through this problem. You're not seeing it in real time anymore. Like I've turned, I turned it off. I don't know if you've noticed the light is changing because it's getting dark out. But it is definitely really interesting as I go through this to see what kinds of problems can happen with objects and as we're doing this. Because everything is so much more contained when you work with objects. It is, as one of the videos talked about, like it's a lot neater. Like it's a lot neater to look at. It's neater to organize your code, but things can get a little bit more tripped up. As I've said this semester, that JavaScript is kind of sloppy, and you can get away with a lot of really bad form. When you start adding objects in, it becomes a lot harder to do that, for better or for worse. So I think this is a better set of code, right? But it has, but it makes it that much harder for me to just kind of like spit out an answer. So I think it's a really good lesson learned for me, especially as I go through this with you guys. And I hope it's a good lesson for you as well, so that you see that, wow, we need to be on our game here. And if there's a problem, we just keep working at it until we get it solved. So let's come back and take a look at how we can now link up that add item button.